The rain poured heavily as Sarah stood outside the apartment building, completely soaked. This place used to feel like home, but not anymore. Beside her was a small, worn-out suitcase, filled with whatever she could grab before leaving. Inside, Michael was probably feeling proud of himself for getting rid of her so quickly. His last words kept repeating in her head. "You made your choice, Sarah. I'm not ruining my life, because you won't let go of a mistake." A mistake. She looked down at her stomach, still flat, and placed a hand over it. This wasn't a mistake. This was her child, their child. But Michael didn't care. He only cared about his career, his fancy car, his expensive lifestyle. A baby didn't fit into his perfect plans. Lightning flashed across the sky, lighting up her tear-streaked face. Reality hit her hard. She had nowhere to go. Her family had cut ties with her long ago when she moved in with Michael, believing in his promises of a happy life. Her friends had drifted away. She was completely alone. Desperate, she pulled out her phone and dialed the only person she could think of. The phone rang several times before a groggy voice answered. "Hello? Kate, it's me. Sarah." Her voice was shaky. "I need a place to stay." Kate's apartment was small, messy, and smelled like old takeout and cigarettes. But to Sarah, it felt safe. She sat on a worn-out couch, holding a warm cup of tea, while Kate looked at her with sympathy and a little frustration. "So, he kicked you out?" Kate asked, lighting a cigarette. Sarah nodded, avoiding her friend's gaze. "He said I was ruining his life." Kate scoffed. "Sounds like the same old Michael. Always thinking he's better than everyone." She took a deep breath. "So, what now?" Sarah's voice cracked. "I don't know. I have no job, no savings." She placed her hand on her stomach. "But I do know one thing, I won't give up on this baby." Kate sighed but gave her a small nod. "I've got a pull-out bed. You can stay here for now. But you need a plan, Sarah. You can't just sit around hoping things will magically get better." Sarah wiped her tears and straightened up. Kate was right. She couldn't let this be the end. She had a child to protect, a future to fight for. The next few weeks were tough, but she didn't give up. She took any job she could, cleaning houses, waiting tables, even handing out flyers on street corners. It wasn't easy, but she kept going. She had a reason to fight now. Sarah saved every dollar she earned and spent her free time looking for ways to improve her life. One night, while sitting in Kate's small kitchen, she found a blog post about women who had started their own businesses. One story stood out, a single mom who sold handmade jewelry online and turned her hobby into a successful business. Sarah's heart raced with excitement. As a teenager, she had loved making jewelry with beads and wire. Could she do the same? The next morning, she used some of her small savings to buy supplies. At first, her designs were simple, but as her confidence grew, her work became more detailed and beautiful. She took photos of her jewelry and created an online shop. With a deep breath, she hit publish and waited. At first, only a few orders came in. But the kind reviews from happy customers gave her hope. Then one day, everything changed. A fashion influencer with thousands of followers posted a picture wearing one of Sarah's necklaces. Within hours, Sarah's inbox was full of messages, and her shop almost sold out. She could hardly believe it. For the first time in months, she allowed herself to hope for a better future. As her business grew, so did Sarah's confidence. She rented a small workspace and hired a part-time assistant to help with orders. Wanting to help others, she offered flexible jobs to other single moms who needed work. What started as a small idea had grown into something bigger than she ever imagined. One night, as Sarah sat at her desk reviewing designs for her next collection, her phone buzzed. It was an email from a big retailer interested in selling her jewelry. Tears filled her eyes as she read the message. All her struggles and sleepless nights had led to this moment. She placed her hand on her growing belly and whispered, "We're going to be okay." The next few years were a whirlwind. Sarah's jewelry business, Radiant Designs, became a sensation. Her beautiful pieces, each with a story of strength and determination, touched the hearts of her customers. Magazines featured her as a role model for women entrepreneurs, and her jewelry appeared in high-end stores and exclusive collections. Sarah's personal life flourished as well. Becoming a mother had shown her a strength she never knew she had. Her son, Liam, became the center of her world. Watching him grow and smile brought her endless joy. Their bond was unbreakable, a small but loving family built on trust, love, and determination. One cool autumn morning, Sarah hurried to a charity event where she was invited to speak. The ballroom was busy with important guests waiting to hear her story. Backstage, she adjusted her microphone and took a deep breath. "You've got this," she whispered, smoothing her suit before stepping onto the stage. Applause filled the room as she walked forward. Under the bright lights, Sarah spoke honestly about her journey. She didn't hide the hard times, the nights she cried on Kate's couch, the buyers who rejected her, or the moments she doubted herself. But she also shared her victories, the day she sold out her first collection, the partnerships that helped her business grow, and the joy of creating jobs for others. After her speech, Sarah mingled with the crowd. A tall, handsome man approached her, his warm smile setting him apart. "Sarah Turner?" he asked, offering his hand. "I'm Alex Reed." Sarah blinked in surprise. Even with her busy life, she knew who Alex Reed was, a famous actor known for both his talent and charity work. "Your speech was incredible," Alex said. "Your story is truly inspiring." Sarah smiled, feeling something she hadn't felt in a long time. "Thank you, Alex. That means a lot." What started as a simple conversation grew into something deeper. Over time, Sarah and Alex became close. Alex admired Sarah's strength and independence, and Sarah found comfort in his kindness and support. He understood struggle, he had built his own career from nothing. One evening, after putting Liam to bed, Sarah found Alex waiting for her by the fireplace. His face was serious, but full of warmth. "I've been thinking," Alex said, holding her hands. "About us. About what we've built together." Sarah tilted her head. "What's on your mind?" His eyes held hers. "I want us to be a family, officially. You and Liam mean everything to me. I want to spend the rest of my life showing you how much you're loved." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. For so long, she had guarded her heart, afraid of more pain, but Alex had shown her, again and again, that he was here for her and Liam, not out of duty, but love. "Yes," she whispered, her voice shaking with emotion, "I want that too." Their wedding was a small, beautiful event at a vineyard, surrounded by close friends and family. 5-year-old Liam proudly carried the rings as Sarah walked down the aisle. For the first time in years, she felt at peace. She had survived the storm and come out stronger. Now, she was stepping into a new life filled with love and hope. Alex's vows stayed in her heart forever. "I promise to honor the strength and grace that brought you here," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "To love not just you, but the family you've built with courage. You've shown me what true beauty is, Sarah, and I'm honored to call you my wife." Life with Alex was completely different from her past struggles. Together, they raised Liam, supported each other's dreams, and built a home filled with love. But Sarah never forgot where she came from. She started a foundation to help single mothers, giving them the resources and support they needed to rebuild their lives. She shared her story openly, knowing that every woman she helped was a victory. One day, she received an invitation to attend the Golden Globe Awards as Alex's guest. She hesitated. Memories of her past threatened to creep in, but then she smiled. She wasn't defined by her past, she was defined by how she had risen above it. The night of the Golden Globes was dazzling. Cameras flashed as Sarah stepped onto the red carpet, her hand in Alex's. She wore a stunning gown and jewelry from her own collection. Years ago, she had watched events like this from afar, thinking they belonged to a world she could never reach. Yet here she was, successful, strong, and deeply loved. As reporters asked her questions, she spoke with confidence about her foundation, her business, and the people who had supported her along the way. Alex proudly spoke about her strength and kindness, making the press eager to hear more. But the biggest moment of the night happened far away. Michael sat alone in his small apartment, a shadow of the man he used to be. His career had stalled, and his reckless choices had cost him everything. Flipping through the TV channels, He landed on the live broadcast of the Golden Globes. His eyes widened as Sarah appeared on screen, radiant and confident. "Is that her?" he muttered, leaning closer. She was unrecognizable. The woman he had once belittled, abandoned, and underestimated was now standing beside Alex Reed, her name spoken with respect and admiration. Then, his eyes landed on the sparkle of her wedding ring. "That's Alex Reed," he whispered in disbelief. As the reality sank in, Michael realized the truth. Sarah had risen far above him, and she wasn't looking back. On a cool autumn morning, Sarah hurried to a charity event where she was invited to speak. The ballroom buzzed with important guests eager to hear her story. Backstage, Sarah adjusted her microphone, took a deep breath, and whispered, "You've got this." Smoothing her suit, she stepped onto the stage, greeted by applause. Under the bright lights, Sarah shared her journey, her struggles, nights spent crying on her friend Kate's couch, rejections from buyers, and moments of doubt. But she also spoke of her successes, the day she sold out her first collection, the partnerships that helped her business grow, and the joy of creating jobs for others. After her speech, as she mingled with guests, a tall, handsome man approached her. His warm smile stood out from the crowd. "Sarah Turner?" he asked, holding out his hand. "I'm Alex Reed." Sarah blinked, surprised. Even with her busy schedule, she knew who Alex Reed was, a famous actor loved for both his talent and charity work. "I just wanted to say your speech was incredible," Alex said. "Your story is truly inspiring." Sarah smiled, feeling a spark she hadn't felt in years. "Thank you, Alex, that means a lot." What began as a simple conversation soon grew into something more. Over the months, Sarah and Alex became close. Alex admired Sarah's strength and independence, while Sarah found comfort in Alex's kindness and support. One evening, after putting her son Liam to bed, Sarah found Alex waiting in the living room, his face thoughtful in the glow of the fireplace. "I've been thinking," Alex began, taking her hands, "about us, about what we've built together. I want us to be a family, officially. You and Liam mean everything to me. I want to spend my life showing you how much you're loved." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. After so much heartbreak, she had learned to guard her heart, but Alex had broken down those walls, not out of obligation, but out of love. "Yes," she whispered, "I want that too." Their wedding was a small, beautiful celebration at a vineyard, surrounded by family and friends. 5-year-old Liam proudly served as the ring bearer. As Sarah walked down the aisle, she felt a peace she hadn't known in years. She had survived the storm and was stepping into a new chapter filled with love and hope. During the vows, Alex's voice trembled with emotion. "I promise to honor the strength that brought you here and to love not just you, but the family you've built with so much courage. You've shown me what true beauty is, Sarah, and I'm proud to call you my wife." Life with Alex was full of love and support. Together, they raised Liam and chased their dreams. But Sarah never forgot where she came from. She started a foundation to help single mothers, offering them resources and mentorship to rebuild their lives. Sharing her story became a way to inspire others, proving that no matter how hard life gets, it's possible to rise above. One day, Sarah received an invitation to attend the Golden Globe Awards as Alex's guest. For a moment, old insecurities crept in. But then she smiled, remembering how far she had come. This night wasn't just about Alex's success, it was a moment to show the world the woman she had become. When the night arrived, Sarah stepped onto the red carpet, with Alex by her side. Cameras flashed, capturing her radiant smile and the stunning gown she wore, a design from her own fashion line. Years ago, she had watched events like this from afar, thinking they belonged to a world she could never reach. But now, she stood tall beside her husband, her name known for success and strength. Inside the theater, Alex took the stage to present an award. Before announcing the winner, he glanced at Sarah in the front row. "Before I continue," he said, "I want to acknowledge someone who inspires me every day, my wife, Sarah. Her journey from adversity to success shows that no matter how hard life gets, we have the strength to rise above it." The audience erupted in applause as the camera focused on Sarah, her eyes glistening with emotion. Meanwhile, far away in a modest apartment, a man watched the broadcast. Michael, Sarah's ex-husband. His once promising career had faded, and his reckless choices had cost him everything. He leaned closer to the screen, staring in shock. "Is that her?" he muttered. It was. The woman he had underestimated, the woman he once told would never make it without him, was now standing on the world stage, proving him wrong. And beside her stood Alex Reed, one of the most famous actors in the world. Regret hit Michael like a wave. Memories of their fights, the night he kicked her out, and his belief that she'd come crawling back flashed through his mind. But she hadn't. She had built a life beyond anything he could imagine. Desperate to reconnect, Michael searched for Sarah's social media profiles. Post after post showed her achievements, her happy family, and the impact of her foundation. Every photo and headline was a reminder of what he had lost. Finally, he sent her a message, an apology, hoping for a reply. But Sarah never answered. Months later, Sarah hosted a gala for her foundation, attended by celebrities, philanthropists, and the media. As she spoke on stage, she scanned the crowd and froze. Michael was there. Their eyes met briefly, and for a moment, old pain stirred in her chest. But then she looked at Alex, smiling proudly in the front row, and at Liam, showing his drawing to a guest. Warmth filled her heart. This was her life now, a life built on love, strength, and hard work. After the event, Michael approached her. His shoulders sagged, and his voice was soft. "Sarah. I'm sorry for everything." Sarah's gaze was calm. "I appreciate the apology, Michael. But I've moved on." As she turned to leave, Michael called after her, his voice filled with regret. "You're incredible, Sarah. I was a fool to let you go." Sarah paused and glanced back, her eyes steady. "Yes, you were. But those struggles made me who I am today. So, in a way, thank you." With that, she walked away, leaving Michael standing in the shadows of the woman he had once underestimated. Sarah's life continued to thrive. She built a loving home with Alex and Liam, and her foundation helped countless women rebuild their lives. Her story became a symbol of strength, proving that no matter how hard life gets, determination and courage can lead to a brighter future. For Michael, however, the image of Sarah on that red carpet and the life he had thrown away became a constant reminder of the price of his own mistakes.